If you want to learn how to make this creamy garlic mushroom pork chops, keep on watching. Welcome back to another cooking video with Mixed Chop. Today we'll be learning how to make a creamy garlic mushroom pork chop. For our ingredients, we have our mixed blend, an onion, 2 cloves of garlic, half a bell pepper, mushroom, garlic powder, black pepper, cilantro, chopped parsley, a pork chop, heavy cream, our vegetable oil, paprika, and our crushed pepper. Now we're gonna cut up our vegetables. First, we're gonna chop up our mushroom. You can chop up your mushroom whichever way you like. We're gonna be sauteing these. Next, we're gonna season our pork chop. I went ahead and put on a glove for this next part. So we're gonna add our mixed blend to this. So you can add any seasoning of your choice. This is just a blend that we made. We're just gonna put that in there. I'm gonna lift this up too. So I have 3 pieces of pork chop. And I'm also gonna lift this one up. And I'm gonna add that. Next, we're gonna add our paprika. The same thing. We're gonna add our black pepper. And next we're gonna add our garlic powder. Lastly, we're gonna add our crushed pepper to give it just a little kick to it. Nothing dramatic, just a little. You want to get all into your pork chop. Make sure the seasoning and all the spices going everywhere. Make sure you wash your meat too. Make sure you always wash your meat. You can wash your meat with vinegar or some lemon, lime, any one of your choice. After mixing our pork chop, I am going to use a fork to poke through it so some of the seasoning penetrates through it. So I'm gonna use a fork. I'm just gonna poke through it, and we're gonna let all that spicy go everywhere in our pork chop. You could do this before you put the seasoning. It's up to you. After we poke through our pork chop, we're gonna let it sit for like 10 minutes and let that marinate. After seasoning our pork chops, we're gonna go ahead and saute our onions, our bell pepper. You wanna let the bell peppers and the onions with your garlic saute just a little bit before you add your mushroom. We're now going to add our mushroom to the rest of our ingredients in our saute, and I went ahead and added a pinch of salt to give it just a little taste. After sauteing our vegetables, we're going to go ahead and sear our pork chops. We're going to add oil to our pot and let that heat up for a few seconds. Now we're going to add our pork chops to our pot. Look how beautiful those pork chop looks like. Look at the color. You can see the seasoning. And it smells so good. we're gonna flip our pork chop. We don't want it too overly brown. Look at this, guys. If only you were here to smell the aroma. We're gonna let this sear on the other side for 2 more minutes, and then we'll check on it. After searing both sides of our pork chop, we're gonna put this aside, and then we're gonna make our sauce. In our pot, we're gonna add our creamer. I'm just adding half of this. We're also going to add the rest of our blend to our pot. We're going to add our garlic powder, some more garlic powder. And we're also going to add just a little bit of paprika for the color. And we're going to mix all of this in. And we're just going to let this thicken just a little bit. And we're going to add our saute. After our cream has thickened a little bit, we're going to add half of our saute. And we're going to mix that in. Going to add some cilantro and some parsley into our mix so it cooks with it to give it that flavor. Like I mentioned earlier, these two are a really good combination together. Ooh, this smells really, really good. Look at this. We're just gonna let this cook for 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna add our pork chop to it, and we're also gonna add the rest of our saute. After 2 to 3 minutes, we're gonna add our pork chop in our sauce. You want your pork chop to absorb all of the sauce and also the seasoning from your pork chop to go through your sauce as well. I'm just gonna flip this over so both sides get the juice. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Now we're gonna add the remaining of our saute. And we're just gonna let that cook with our sauce. And we're also going to add our cilantro and the rest of our parsley. After our 5 minutes up, here's the final look of your creamy garlic mushroom pork chop. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you try this recipe at home, please leave a comment below. Also, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thanks for watching.